we've covered Poitier, the artist. Now let's talk about Poitier, the man.
Okay.
Tell me about your background. What was your childhood like?
My childhood was very interesting. I grew up in South Memphis, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Went to public schools, dealt with all of the challenges that are involved within that. I grew up in a very loving home. My father was there, but then he wasn't there, and so that's the story of many African American young men. And let me just say, my father and I have a great relationship today, but it was challenging then. Pretty much trained and raised by my mother and my grandmother, who was heavily involved within the church. My father's a blues musician. I have one brother. He's a blues musician as well as a gospel guitarist. And I grew up in a very musical home, a home full of passion, full of love, a home that was expressive, that believed in being very communicative in your emotions, in your feelings, in your thoughts. And they encouraged me. A very encouraging home, but yet challenging. We didn't have a silver spoon in our mouth. It was plastic, you know. And so we did grow up on, as some say, the rough side of the tracks. But by the faithfulness of God, we made it. And I believe that it shaped and formed me to be the type of person I am today. And
when did you start doing music?
I started when, again, roughly I was 6 years old. Now, my mother tells the story. I don't remember it like this, but my mother tells it as to where, in my home, in my grandmother's home, she always played the radio, and so music was always going in our home. We had a piano, and so I would get on the piano and I would, try to hear it, play it by ear, figure it out. Well, one Sunday in church, the youth choir was singing, but their musician didn't show up. And I've heard that song they were singing over and over and over. And so my mother relays the story like this. She said, I told her, Mom, I can play that song. And she was like, well, be quiet. I was 6. She said, be quiet. I said, no, Mom, I can play that song. I said, be quiet, be quiet. So she says, I jumped down, ran up to the piano, and I started playing. And so that was my experience from that particular point of just jumping in there and just hearing the music, hearing the passion, and going with it from there.
So according to her, how did you do?
How did I do?
Yes.
Well, I became the youth musician, youth choir musician, so I think I did all right.
Okay. And at what point did you decide that this is something that I want to pursue?
It really started, this career started by accident. I'm used to playing for others. I've been in the studio, worked with others, played with others. But my own personal project started by accident. I was actually at the studio assisting someone else, supporting someone else. And the producer said, go into the booth, because I'm just singing along, just, humming with the song. And the producer said, you go into the studio and just do something. And so I went into the studio, put the earphones on, and I just started singing, and he started playing. And he was like, wow, you can really sing. And so I didn't have the confidence then in my singing because, again, I'm a worshiper, and I'm used to worshiping and doing my own thing. But to actually be an artist, to actually say I'm going to be the lead singer, that was not something I desired, something I pursued. It just happened roughly about 3 years ago. And he said, go in there and do something. I did it, and we've been in the studio ever since. So I'm just sort of riding the wave, seeing where it takes me.
Okay. Describe yourself. Just who is Poitier?
Okay. I would say I'm a very observant individual. My day job requires for me to do a lot of talking, but those who really know me know I'm not that talkative. I'm more reserved. I'm more observant. I love to hear. I love to joke. I love to play around. I love to have fun. I love for things to be easy. I love for things to be laid back. I have a competitive side. I have an aggressive side. I have a take charge side. But that's more so to help others to get to where they need to be. As far as I'm concerned, I'm cool. As long as everybody who's around me is fine, as long as my friends are good, I'm okay. I'm a very loyal person, as others have described me. And I'm not a flashy individual. I believe in quality. I believe in first class, but it's not something that I got to have. It's not something that I promote or I pursue. As long as you're good, I'm great.
Okay. Let's get back to your album.
Okay.
How long has it been out?
Well, officially, it's been out January 2011. So it's still a newbie.
But I understand that you recently actually had your album release party, right?
Correct. I had my album release party in January, and it was phenomenal. Again, shout out to Poitier team, Odie Tolbert, Soul Spell Entertainment. It was incredible. We had it at the Jack Robinson Art Gallery, and we had over 250 some people there. A lot of support from the community, music community, and I was blown away by it. I'm still getting reviews from it. And so it's been out since then, and people have enjoyed the project. I mean, it's surprising to me. Now, I know I enjoy it because it's my music, but for others to say, you know, there's not a bad track on the song. Every track that we listen to, we enjoy it. It's very humbling, and I'm very grateful for that.
And what would you like to accomplish with this? I know this was something that you didn't set out to do.
Right.
But it's here. It's before you. The album is out. People are listening.
Right.
So what goals have you set for yourself?
I know this is bad to say, but I don't have any. I don't have
Wherever
any
the
goals.
Spirit leads you.
Exactly. You know, I'm just treading new waters, and it's something that I know I'm passionate about, and you know, of course, I would like for it to do well, but I don't have in my goals Grammys and different things like that. No, I just want to make good music. I want to make good music that people can relate to, that people can say, you know, when I was feeling this way, I went to track so-and-so and it really uplifted me, or I was able to really relate to it. I just want to go back to making good music, not music that's filled with auto-tone, and nothing against auto-tone, but just not a lot of synthetic, very passionless type of music, but something that people can relate to. You know, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and you know, we had some good music back then, and so I just want to add to that particular genre and cause good music to be experienced by all. So if that's a goal, that's what I want.